it's me and I'm back, and today we're going to do something just a little bit different. This is a book haul of everything that I've accumulated over the past few weeks. So this may take a few minutes, so grab yourself a cup of coffee, piece of cake, whatever. Hot chocolate is always good, but here we go, okay? I have got a very good friend who is a reading buddy of mine, and her name is Erica, and we sometimes get together and we pick books. So when she and I got together at Barnes and Noble, and we picked some books to read together. And the first one we picked, and I started a little bit early. Sorry, Erica. Um, this one's called 6 Months Later, and it's about a girl who went to sleep and she woke up 6 months later and her life has changed, and it's a pretty good book so far. I'm just about, let's see, 14 pages in, and I really like it. And it's called 6 Months Later by Natalie D. Richards. Very good book, actually. Um, okay, the next series I got was a series of an author I hadn't read before, but after reading this series, I promise you, I will be reading it again. And it's the Perfection series, and it's the first two books, Twisted Perfection, and oh my God, was this so good. And I loved it to pieces. It was passionate, it was romantic, it was intense, and I loved it. The only thing was is they left me hanging at the end of this one, and I had to run out and get Simple Perfection, which is the continuation of Della and Wood's story. And these are a 5++ in my book. These are wonderful books, and I would highly recommend them to anybody. I already finished some of this haul, so but I'm just letting you know which books I got that were new. And while I was at Barnes and Noble with Erica, we picked up Let the Sky Fall, which is the first in the series, and it's by Shannon Messenger, and this is a beautiful cover. I love this cover to death. And it is a wonderful story, and I loved it. I devoured every page of it, and I think the next book in the series, Let the Storm Break, I don't know if you can see that little picture of a book, comes out, I believe they said March the 4th, and I cannot wait to pick it up. It's about a girl who, let's see, she's a Sith, and she has to have a guardian, and she falls in love with her guardian, and she has to teach him how to be like her. So this is a very, very good book, and I loved it. I would also give it a 5 stars. Okay, now this is a little bit different because I love historical romance, and one of the best author for historical romance, in my opinion, is a lady named Grace Burrows. And her newest book is The McGregor's Lady. And you can see I have a bookmark in there, but don't let it fool you, because this is my second time through. I love this book. I cried so hard the first time I missed some of it. So I am reading it again because she is my favorite historical author lady. And anybody who hasn't picked up her books, you really, really need to, especially if you love historical fiction, or if you haven't tried historical fiction. Miss Burrows is the first place you should try. And this one is like the third or fourth one in the series, and it is a wonderful series, and I love it. I think let's see, the first one is The Bridegroom Wore Plaid, and it is a terrific series. I have all her books, and I love to read her books more than once usually. Okay, this next series is a YA series that is a dystopian, and I picked it up because it was so positive on Goodreads and Amazon, and I picked it up and I loved it. It's called Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, and I finished the first book, and I absolutely cannot wait to start the second book. And on Valentine's Day, my husband picked up a bunch of books for me, and he happened to pick up Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi, which I believe is the second book. So, if you haven't tried this series, please do. It is wonderful. I loved it. Okay? And anybody who loves fairy tales, I used to love fairy tales when I was a little girl. So I picked up a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's called Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, and it is a 5+, y'all. If you love Beastly, if you loved the fairy tale retellings, this is a book that you need to pick up. I fell in love with this one originally because of this beautiful cover, but I fell in love with the book instantly, and I read it in a couple of days, and it was a very enjoyable book. I loved it. It is a great new book to pick up. Thanks, Miss Hodge, for sharing your wonderful talent with us. Okay, the next series is, let's see, the next book, and I haven't started this one yet all the way. I've started a couple of pages, but I picked it up and I put it down for another series, and it's called The Distance Between Us by Cassie West, and so far I'm loving it. This one is about Cayman and Xander, and Cayman's mom owns a doll shop, and she's kind of a part of a blue collar family, and she lives paycheck to paycheck, her mom does, and Xander is sort of a rich guy, and she's been told about rich guys from her mother, and it is just a quirky, fun, she has a sarcastic way of looking at things, and it's going to be fun to see how long it takes Xander to break through that sarcastic wall of hers. So I'm really enjoying this one. Okay, now the next one absolutely blew me away. I have done something with the book that I have never, ever done with any book. I stayed up until 1:30 in the morning finishing it, and I read it in about 12 hours, and it's called Everneath by Brody Ashton, and I put reviews everywhere on this book. I absolutely love this book. What got me when I went into the bookstore and my husband was getting me a Valentine's present was the covers. The covers were absolutely beautiful. And I picked it up and I literally could not put it down. I finished it in 12 hours. And I am starting the second one. And I think I have the second one here called Everbound. And I'm not very far in because every time I get started I have interruptions. And this is a wonderful book. I cried at the end of the first one, and I cannot wait to pick up this one. There aren't enough stars for this book. It is wonderful. It will go on my go-to shelf to read again, and I cannot wait to get back into it. And I think I have the third one. Let's see. Yep. It just came out, so I bought the whole series the first day, and I love this cover. And the third one is called Ever True. And I absolutely cannot wait to finish this series because I want to find out what happens. And I am totally in love with this book. It is about a girl, and her name is, let's see, you'd think I'd know by now. Nikki, and she goes to the Everneath, and a man comes back with her, Cole, and he gives her 6 months to say goodbye to everyone in Everneath, and she has a boyfriend there named Jack. I am totally Team Jack, all the way, and it is a wonderful book, and I highly recommend it. Okay, the next, let's see, the next book, my reading buddy, Erica, and Erica found where Hastings had uh, used books on sale that were like almost very reasonable, very cheap, and so she picked 10 books and I picked 10 books, and here are the 10 books that I picked. This one, I love the cover. The Wild Ones by M. Layton, a novel, and it just looks like a wonderful book. Now I know some of you have probably read this book, but I fell in love with the cover, and when they had it at Hastings for I think it was $3 or $4 for a used copy, I picked it up because I absolutely love this cover. Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins, and when I was at the bookstore, I picked up the second book in the series, and I think I have it here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Sweet Peril. I absolutely love these covers. They are beautiful, and I can't wait to get into the series. Okay, now let's see. The next one I got was one that's in a series called Demon Lover by Juliet Dark. Absolutely love this cover too, and it was a pretty reasonable book, and I can't wait to. It's about fays and night mists, and it just looks like a wonderful, wonderful book, and I can't wait to start it. Let's see, the next book is a follow-up to a book called The Taker. This one is called The Reckoning. It's by Alma Katsu, and it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I had gotten the first book, and I've started it, but I haven't been able to finish it yet, and this is just a beautiful cover. And I won't say anything about this one because it's a part of a series, but it was a beautiful cover. And this is the first in a series called The Goddess Test by Amy Carter, and it is about Persephone and Hades, just like Ebony is about that, a fairy tale or a mythological retelling. And this is the first book in that series. Okay? And then I have no idea what this one's about, but I love the cover. It's called One Week Girlfriend by Monica Murphy, and it looks just like a wonderful romance. And let's see, Assassin's Gambit. I got this book simply because I love the cover, but when I started reading the synopsis on the back, it sounded like a wonderful synopsis, so I can't wait to do this one too. And here is The Beautiful Being by Jessica Inclan. Not sure what this one is, but I just thought that the cover was beautiful, and when I got it, the synopsis sounded just wonderful. It sounds magical and mystical tale, one you won't soon forget. And that's a blurb by Minda Ashley, so I figured, hey, sounds great, so why not? And I'm a big fan of mermaids, so I got Siren's Call, a Dark Tides novel by Devin Quinn, and this looks really wonderful. I love the cover, and it just looked like a wonderful book to read, so I picked that one up. And let's see, this one I got, it's kind of adult women's fiction about let's see, a woman named Fanny who has a love affair with Robert Louis Stevenson, I believe. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, the author of gosh, Treasure Island and The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This is the true story of their romance. It's called Under the Wide and Starry Skies by Nancy Horan. And I've started it, but I didn't get very far in. It looks like just a wonderful book, and I love to read romance stories, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of Titanic. I don't know why. Doesn't have anything to do with Titanic. Might be the cover or something, but it looked like a beautiful book, and it looked like a very romantic read. So we'll see. There you have it. Everything I've gotten from Christmas till now. And to my reading buddy Erica, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope that if you find something in here you like, you'll be willing to try it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.